everyone, it's me, Canadensis, and today's video is going to be a fashion analysis of the Monster High movie. The reason I wanted to do this is because I've heard a lot of people talking about this ever since the movie was announced, but they're coming at it from a perspective that I think they're judging off of nostalgia or like TikTok closet cosplays and not actually from the perspective of someone who knows the dolls or knows what they're talking about at all in terms of Monster High. So for my Monster High resume, I started collecting when I was 12 years old in 2012, but I had been watching the series ever since 2010, and I love it a lot. I have a ton of the dolls. I must have over 200 by now, and I just wanted to give a perspective from myself as somebody who knows about Monster High and has a pretty good familiarity with a lot of the dolls. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, first I'm going to be going through some pics of each character that I think were on the mood board for the movie, and then we're going to look over some looks from the movie and which dolls I think they're close to. This isn't going to be just slam dunk, everything is perfect about this movie, because I don't agree that it is. I actually really enjoyed the writing. I think the characters were done very well, but I think a big disclaimer that needs to be stated is that this movie is not meant to be a perfect recreation of Generation 1. It's meant to be a reboot. It's meant to be something completely different, but inspired by the original Monster High. So any deviations that you're seeing are intentional. It's not just that they didn't study up on the characters or anything. But I do actually think that the fashion in this movie was very well referenced from the dolls, and we will be citing our sources today. So let's get started. So first, as you can see, we're looking at Draculaura. These are various Draculaura dolls. I picked these because, again, I think that they were most likely on the mood board in some capacity for the Monster High movie. Also, by the way, just to be clear, the Monster High movie has some big issues with the production of it, some people on the team, but please don't use that to direct hate towards these fresh-faced actors and the designers and all of these other people who were just doing their job and are completely innocent of this, okay? I just think that's very important. I think there's fair criticisms to be had about this movie and some of the people behind the movie, but I don't think it's fair to lodge all of this hate at people like Ceci Balagat and Naya and Mia and all of these other wonderful people that were involved in this movie. Anyway, now let's get started. So first we're looking at Draculaura. So I wanted to show a sampling of the dolls because each character had a bit of a theme that they would go off of when they made dolls, but there were exceptions to that. So for example, right here, this is Scaris Draculaura. There isn't really a lot going on with this doll that screams Draculaura other than black and pink with some heart decals, I guess. And you find that a lot with Monster High. I think there's a very common misconception among people today, I guess, in communities outside of Monster High, the doll community in general, just people who have nostalgia for Monster High, which is perfectly valid, and there's a place for you to have a conversation within this, but I think it's important to actually look at what you're talking about before you go around criticizing and hating on people when truly you have no idea what you're talking about. So, Draculaura was never an e-girl and was never particularly alternative. She always had some notes of Victorian fashion, mainly in terms of collars and ruffles. She had a lot of vintage stuff going on, but a lot of modern stuff too. A lot of mini skirts, pleats, mostly gathered skirts, I'd say. Lots and lots of ruffles. You can see here with the Killer Style doll, we've got the ruffles down the middle. We've got a gathered skirt. We've got a pleated skirt on the original Draculaura. Draculaura didn't often wear boots. Generally, she was wearing something akin to a Mary Jane or a pump. One of the strengths of Monster High as a doll line that I think people don't realize is that it wasn't really based on fashion grounded in reality. When I think of a doll that is a fashion doll or a trendy fashion doll, Monster High is never part of that equation. I'm thinking of My Scene. I'm thinking of Bratz. I'm thinking of some Barbies. Monster High was always very concept focused, and while there were very fashionable looks, especially towards the beginning, over time they kind of just switched to how many variations of a mini dress can I do with different prints. I think the strongest things about Monster High were the sculpts, such as the shoes and the earrings, and the really fantastic fabric patterning and fabric art that the artists were doing. And I mean, as you can see with Draculaura, we're seeing some variation of a mini skirt or a tight mini dress. Occasionally, we're seeing a different silhouette that's mostly poofy at the bottom half and tight at the top. You're seeing a lot of collars. You're seeing, interestingly, I expected to see some droopy sleeves because that's kind of vampire to me, but you don't really see that, at least in Generation 1, which is quite interesting. You also get some use of sheer fabric, but overall, mostly not sheer fabrics. And Draculaura, to me, especially compared to some other characters, didn't really get a lot of fabric printing. You can see here with Scaris, she does have quite a bit of fabric printing here, but other dolls, like this is the Ghouls Rule doll, which actually has really cool wings, but that's not really relevant to this, in particular, this movie. There's only really two spots where there's printing on her, and one of them is the foiling that is kind of the signature of the line. And then here you can see absolutely no fabric patterning. Often there's very little, if at all. Like Signature Draculaura has no fabric printing on her, so something to consider. Anyway, also mainly pink and black. Occasionally you get some white in the color scheme, but often they completely remove white from the color scheme and it's just pink and black. So I don't know where this alt edgy Lolita. There's some Lolita elements. Don't get, like, I agree with that, but I don't know where this alt edgy punk e-girl thing for Draculaura came from. I think it's just closet cosplays on TikTok, truly, but it was never a thing. Never existed. She was never like mall goth. I mean, maybe slightly mall goth in some looks, but no, not really. Like, I don't know. Mini skirts, mini dresses with ruffles. Anyway, next for Frankie. So Frankie's big thing is that Frankie has a, and out of respect for Frankie's new character in Generation 3, I'm going to be using they them pronouns, but for Generation 1 Frankie, I understand if you're going to continue to consider this a completely separate character. Anyway, so Frankie in Generation 1 is mainly print mixing. So you can see on the signature doll, it was all plaid, very preppy, but we have striped shoes, we have a polka dotted tie. Ties were also very cute on Generation 1 Frankie, occasionally you'd see them. Lots of print mixing and other preppy things that you're seeing. So vests. You can see here these leggings or I don't have this doll, so I can't tell if those are leggings or pants, to be honest. I have the other two from this line though. Oh, and shoes. Almost always pumps, occasionally boots. Scaris I put here because this doll's kind of an anomaly. And you can see another vest type of look here. You can see pants here. Frankie didn't often have pants, but these pants are relevant later, so that's why I included them here. Just very preppy. Very, very preppy, but with a lot of mixing prints. And I really liked this print mixing thing because it kind of reminds of Frankie being a simulacrum, which is what Frankenstein's monster is. Frankie Stein, Frankenstein's monster's child. I feel like it's a lot of like mismatch, you know, when things are patched up, generally they're gonna have like a plaid patch or a stripy patch. They don't necessarily go together, but Frankie always had it in a really cool, fashionable way. So you can see like animal print mixed with vague stripes that are meant to look like the stitches. And then here you have mismatched stripes mixed with this plaid situation, mixed with polka dots. This also is like the ultimate Frankie doll to me, this 2.0 Frankie, who I actually don't have. I also really, really love Picture Day Frankie a lot. And I think I Heart Fashion is a really important line to look at for characters that have I Heart Fashion dolls because it shows when the designers were given the opportunity to do 3 Frankie Stein looks, these are the ones that they come up with. So you can see a tie, you can see a vest, you can see argyle, mixed prints, mini skirt, things like that. All right, moving on to Clawdeen. So Clawdeen was difficult. I did not include a lot of Clawdeen dolls here, including that I did not include the signature Clawdeen. The reason for that is because I was trying to match to what I think was on the mood board for this movie. Clawdeen is very often in Generation 1 wearing a mini skirt, some kind of top, and fur, or a mini dress with some kind of fur. Clawdeen, I always kind of pictured at an... Let me pull up my favorite Clawdeen doll for you guys, just because I can't do a video without including this doll. It's like the ultimate Clawdeen doll. So let me grab her real quick. I think it's criminal that I didn't grab her, actually. So I apologize for that. Where are you? Yeah, okay. Sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going on Clawdeen. So the main consistency for Clawdeen as a doll was always just purple and fur and animal print. And other than that, since Claudine kind of a fashionista, she experimented a lot. So often she's wearing pants. I want to make that clear. She wears pants a lot. This is my all-time favorite Claudine doll by far. So this to me is the bastion of Claudine fashion. I will say that if there's any character in this movie that I don't feel captured the essence of the original character, it's Claudine. Which is why I had so much trouble picking these dolls. But there are very obvious references to original Claudine dolls, especially this one. I'm not a big. I mean, Scare's Claudine's fine, but not my favorite. And then this one too. This is Fright Sears from Boo York, Boo York. I think that's. Or is this one City? I don't remember. One of the Boo York lines. You can see inspirations from this one in the line as well. And I Heart Fashion. So you see one of the only graphic tees that you ever see Claudine wear here, which you see in the movie. You see pants, you see the little like vest jacket thing. Mainly like Claudine just wears a lot of fur and animal print, and since Claudine doesn't seem to be like Claudine is the most changed character, and again, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I do think that it is a noticeable departure from the original Claudine, and that's important to point out. Anyway, we'll get there. Next is Cleo. Cleo was the most on point styling in this movie in terms of direct comparison to Generation 1, which I was not expecting actually, because when I first watched the movie, allegedly, and when I first watched the movie for real at the movie premiere last week, I kind of walked away thinking that Cleo was not very faithful. But I think what's going on is that Cleo is the least monstrous monster ever. This is just a person. Occasionally, like in the signature doll, there's a decent amount of mummy wraps, but most of the time, it's just kind of a girl wearing ancient Egyptian inspired-ish clothing. I don't know. So you see some things like the neckline here on Dawn of the Dance. You see mummy wrap occasionally, the tinsel in the hair. For some reason, she's like really Cleo in the new movie's like very sparkly. I like that, but it's kind of a new thing. And occasionally there's like a hint of bandages, but other than that, this is just an Egyptian woman. Like I just think she was a pretty doll, so we kind of looked past it. But overall, Cleo's not the most stylistically interesting. It's some form of a mini dress with like a scarab or a bandage somewhere, or like a little Eye of Horus, or an Ankh or something somewhere on the outfit, and then we called it a day and we were like, that's a mummy. Still, and in Generation 2, they kind of fixed that by having Cleo consistently have mummy wrap on her body. And they kind of have that in Gen 1, but they took it, or in Gen 3, but they took it away again. I don't know. We'll get there. Abby! Abby's really easy, but honestly, a lot of Abby dolls are very specific to themes. So, like, I'm not a fan of Picture Day Abby at all, I'm sorry. But you can see the essence of Abby here, right? Generally, though, she's wearing a mini dress with fur, which I love this, like, not dressing for the weather situation, but there's a lot of times that Abby is wearing pants or a jacket or something. But overall, it's like, this girl's freezing to death, but she's not. It's fashion. I really, really love Abby. This is probably my favorite character. I really like Toralei, but it's not fair. Toralai's a cat. Abby's my true favorite character in Monster High. And also my first Monster High doll was Skull Shore's Abby, so kind of cool for me. I love Abby. Unfortunately, Abby didn't go on a screen time, but I feel like, and I'm going to explain this later, Abby seemed to be inspired by other Doll Line's winter characters and not necessarily Abby from Monster High itself. But I do think that that's actually partially because, again, Abby has mostly themed dolls. So, like, it's like classroom, homic Abby. She couldn't really wear her full fur situation, you know? And then there's, like, Ghoul's Rule Abby. Can't really reference that for this. Sweet Screams Abby. Unfortunately, a lot of Abbies aren't. Like, with Clawdeen, there's a ton of casual Clawdeens. Cleo, a ton of casual Cleo dolls. Draculaura, same thing. But, like, Abby was generally like, I'm going to a party, I'm going swimming, something like that. So, yeah. Not that those are a bad thing, but for a video like this, it's not the best. Alright, Ghoulia, big departure. So, there are two leagues of Ghoulia dolls, or Ghoulia things going on. So, there's either I'm gonna move this one over here. There's either a very heavy emphasis on vintage in some way, You can see some like I would say like 50s like diner on this one, with the red and the blue and the white, and then some kind of like vintage thing going on, the suspenders. But I feel like Gen 3, I mean, in the movie, the Gulia is primarily just based on this specific doll. Like, this exact doll is what they dress Gulia like, which is interesting. I mean, there is a scene where Clawdeen is straight up wearing Generation 3 Clawdeen's shirt. I didn't include her here. But like, I don't know. I wanted to compare to Generation 1 since that's what people are freaking out about, is that it's nothing like Generation 1. Gulia is very far from the character in Generation 1. Her character's also totally different. She's really like, she's a comic relief character. She's very goofy, which is not a bad thing. Again, I don't mind, but it's interesting. And anyway, you see graphic tees, you see mini skirts, which you do see skirts on Gulia. I don't know. I feel like Gulia was a little bit far from Generation 1 in general. And then lastly, we have Laguna. Yeah, the closest I can see that maybe was referenced was perhaps Picture Day, and again, I'm not too big of a fan of Picture Day as a line in general. There's some dolls like Frankie that are like the best Frankie doll ever made, and then a lot of the other ones are just kind of confusing to me. Uh, okay, so with Laguna, she was meant to be sporty. That was her thing. She's like a sporty girl, but in doll form, she was never very sporty. She was kind of just like an Elle Woods type of outfit. It's very interesting. She was never like dressed like a surfer girl. And I feel like in Gen 3 they're dressing her a lot more sporty, which is throwing people off. The original Laguna doll, I will say, is quite sporty. She's wearing like a swimsuit with little swim shorts, and like she looks like she's going out for a jog or something, except those shoes. No, those shoes. But like the new one is wearing like Tivas and these high-waisted like biker shorts and mesh. Like this is much more sporty doll. And this again was like primary what they were referencing for Laguna in the movie. All right, now we're gonna look at the outfits from the movie. These horrible outfits that for months have been getting reamed online as the worst. They are so unfaithful and so awful, and I think that is ridiculous. So, first of all, this is the first outfit that Draculaura shows up in. They're not all in order, but these are the first and second, and this is the same outfit just with a thing over it. The thing with Draculaura, again, is frills, black and pink, gathered skirts. You have a couple of tighter skirts, and I'm seeing that. So this outfit is very similar to, oh my god, what was it? Music Festival Draculaura. And then I'm seeing Picture Day Draculaura, who I actually really like. Picture Day Draculaura, direct reference throughout. So this is actually really cute. This skirt, they pinned little bats on it. It's so cute. And I love the first outfit she shows up in. This is kind of the promotional material outfit. Adorable. We've got the gathered sleeves that are poofy. We've got the dress silhouette is just right. The colors are really nice. Split dye is new for Draculaura. I mean, is it? I swear, like, the Mall Monsteristas potentially has it. I might be wrong, though. It's not new for Draculaura, though. It's, like, kind of been explored. But anyway, I really like it. Also, I would venture to guess that, like, if somebody online did, like, a lookbook of Draculaura 4 years ago, they would put together outfits very similar to this. Oh my god. And I know you can't see it very well because it was really, I mean, the movie is set in a very dark room all the time. That shirt is, like, really cute. It has these, like, really cool cutouts on the sleeves. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, I also want to point out that Monster High is known for having amazing shoes, and I said that earlier, and that is important to me. It's one of the things that made Monster High really interesting, actually. Monster High was pioneering having interesting shoes. Now, like, every doll line has interesting shoes, but before, it was, like, just kind of a fashionable shoe. And you can see I mean, these shoes that are chosen here are not very interesting. But there was some crazy shoes in Monster High, like shoes that have scissors for heels and stuff. But, there are ones grounded in reality, but I will say that these white boots that they chose for the second outfit are heinous. I don't like these. And I love this little capelet. Strangely, Generation 1 Draculaura, except in, like, certain situations like this one, didn't really wear capelets, even though that, to me, is very vampire and very vintage, and not even vintage, antique, and, like, fits for Draculaura, but for some reason she didn't really wear it. But anyway, none of these silhouettes are new, is what I'm trying to point out with this. All right, and then for our second page of Draculaura, Draculaura has done really well, so I have a lot of praise for this. These really cute pink pumps are back. Okay, these shoes we're going to look at later are amazing, so put a pin in those. Anyway, we have Creepateria Draculaura. I think this is I Heart accessories, I heart shoes. It's one of those weird lines. And I put Gen 3 here because this little capelet, which should have been in Gen 1 more, you do see something similar with this doll, the collector doll, but it's not an actual capelet. Anyway, I love this outfit. I wish that we saw more of it. We only see them sitting at the coffin bean in this outfit, but it's really cute. So it looks like she's wearing a big, like loose shirt that has long sleeves with like loose sleeves, and it's red, which I like. And as you can see, Draculaura has worn red before. Calm down. She also used to wear yellow a lot, which I wasn't a big fan of the Draculaura and yellow thing, although Gloom Beach Draculaura is actually excellent, excellent doll. Anyway, I prefer, like, it seems like in Gen 3 the new accent color is purple, which is very cute with her. Anyway, and then it has like a tight, either that's like a corset top or a tank or a bandeau or maybe a dress, I don't know. But anyway, I want to see more of this outfit. I hope that behind the scene pictures come out with this outfit because all the characters looked really cute in this scene actually. And then this I put it here because it's an outfit in the movie. I tried to get all the outfits. That skirt is very, very, very Monster High because it has print on it. Oh, I just noticed that this is like an antique wallpaper. I love that. That's what Scaris has on the shirt too, which makes sense because that's a very like architecturally referenced line. I don't know. Anyway, this is super cute. Again, poofy ruffly sleeves. I love that skirt. It's like cool stars, but Monster High is all about fabric printing and like foiling and stuff. So they were embroidered, I think. That's what they looked like. And then this outfit was hard to capture. So it is a long sleeve shirt with a like crisscross print that creates little diamonds. It looks like she's wearing a tank top underneath, so it's a sheer shirt. It has a collar. Draculaura wears collars all the time. A lot of collared outfits. And then this little capelet thing that she puts over it is amazing. You can see this outfit was really, really cute. All of these outfits in this scene as well were fantastic. And we'll move on. These are the same shoes as this outfit. This is the kind of finale outfit. I love this outfit. And you know what? We're going to reference this doll for this because look at that. This shirt is so cool. It's a black shirt with all this cool stitched in detail and then a red or a pink underneath. So it's just a really beautiful effect. It was really hard to get a screen cap in a moving movie though. So sorry about that. But you can see kind of this like architectural sort of thing. I actually have a shirt just like this and I love it. Turtleneck. Pretty new for Draculaura, but it matches with the collar thing. I like this bag a lot with the little bat print. Adorable. You can see that she has a little ruffly bracelet, perhaps, which very Draculaura. I put this here because for some reason there's not really Monster High shoes with these little wings on them in terms of Draculaura shoes, which is criminal. So these shoes are excellent. I feel like pointy toes. I don't like pointy toed shoes personally, but Draculaura I feel like would wear them. And then they have little bat wings hanging off. I love that. I'm honestly not sure why I put her in this particular spot, but there's the collector Draculaura. Isn't she neat? Anyway, moving on to Frankie. Frankie is the most faithful by far. Fantastic. Fantastic. But it's because Frankie, preppy, mix, prince, you're done. But they did such a good job. Look at the leggings on this particular outfit. Look at oh, it's so cute. So as you can see, this is Gen 3 and this is Gen 1. This is Schools Out 2.0. Frankie, this is our best vest example, but there are other vests like here with Killer Style and here with I Heart Fashion. So Frankie wears vests a lot. Signature Frankie has safety pins, not earrings, I'm sorry. Safety pin earrings were Draculaura, right? Why am I blanking on that? I can probably see it here. Yeah, there's safety pins on Draculaura, my bad. But I'm pretty sure Frankie did have safety pin detailing somewhere. If not, it shows up in other lines. Like, safety pins were all over Monster High. They're very, that's kind of an alt accessory, I feel like. Anyway, Frankie's wearing bow ties. They're wearing ties, which fits quite well. You can see that they'll have a tight over layer and then a poofy outer layer, so you can see a lot of Frankie wears a lot of pleated skirts or dresses with pleated skirts. You can see here, you can see it on the signature doll. Oh, I think my favorite Frankie look was probably this one, and you can't see it well, but they're wearing pants that have one black leg and one stripy leg, and then I don't even care about what the top was. I was just really impressed with those pants. And then they dressed Cece in these boots a lot. They just switched. I think they're the same boots in both of these scenes, Perhaps not, but they're platforms, they're nice. And I think they just switched the laces around, which is cute. I really like this mismatch thing because, again, Frankie's a simulacrum. You can see the tie here. This is that coffin bean sitting down outfit, which is super cute. I love the, like, belts. So, so cute. Anyway, also this skirt was exceptional. I need it. It has a tight, like higher waisted thing with little corset lacing or shoe lacing, and then kind of is I think it was pleated. I don't know. Adorable. Also chains, lots of chains. It's Monster High. There's always going to be a lot of chains and stuff going on. Also, Brett actually pointed this out while we were watching the movie. I wasn't paying attention. Frankie is most of the time wearing very plasticky doll-looking earrings. Brett was like, "Oh, those look weird and like artificial. They look like doll earrings." And I was like, "They do. They're usually just like here, Technicolor lightning bolts, but it's Frankie. It's Monster High. It fits." Also, I need these leggings. I need them. I need them. I need them. So they're wearing leggings with socks over them, and then these cute boots. Yes, and then the silver here. Frankie often has a lot of silver going on. Frankie almost never has gold in the outfit. Sometimes yellow. Anyway, gorgeous, gorgeous. Frankie, 10 out of 10. So well done. So well done. Absolutely. And the in the movie, Cece, he like killed it as Frankie. They were exceptional. Exceptional. Okay, Claudine, I only included one page because there's only really one clear reference. I mean, again, fur coat, shirt, skirt. You got Claudine. This doll is pretty close. This is Scaris? Yeah, this is Scaris. This Boo York doll. This outfit I feel kind of specifically the top. I'm kind of seeing some of that. I don't know. Um, I can see what happened with Claudine, but I feel like all of these outfits are identical, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad outfit per se, but you can see that it's a long sleeve top that's tight, has moons on it, and then there's some sort of jacket over it that has some sort of fur detailing, and then a skirt. There is an outfit with shorts. I didn't include it because I couldn't get a good screen cap of it, but it's kind of a burgundy color. It's really interesting, actually. I really like it for Claudine, but yeah. Claudine was a bit all over the place, but I mean, you can see the inspiration. You can see what they were doing with it. Also, the original Claudine doll, I mean, tight shirt with animal print, jacket with fur, skirt. And it was like a pleated skirt, but you know, these pencil skirts, Claudine is all over too. So these aren't even pencil skirts, they're just kind of what do you even call this style of skirt? I don't know. Pencil skirt's very tight at the legs, and these are open. I think it's just a skirt. Just a skirt. I do think it's weird that this might be a denim skirt. I don't think Claudine would wear denim, honestly, but this is my one kind of I don't really know what's going on with this one. Okay. Next is Abby. Now, this is my favorite one because as a doll collector, I have a lot of different types of dolls. I mean, as a doll collector who collects a lot of different types of dolls, Abby was really fun. So, Abby, when I looked at her, I was like, yeah, that's Abby. Like, white fur, some kind of short thing going on. The hair is very cute. I love the little horns. I wish they did another hairstyle, but the little hair horns are cute. Um, so immediately when I saw this outfit when she's playing football, that's that's Icy Bling Delancey's outfit. Like exactly. As soon as I saw it on screen, I was like, I actually don't think this is a romper like I initially thought. But anyway, that is the same outfit. It's weird, right? The boots, the leggings, everything. It's very strange. This is signature Abby. You can see kind of the spirit of Abby here. Mini dress, fur, boots. And she's always wearing white boots. I think she really only had these boots in the movie, to be honest. You can see them here too. And then this is just, oh, what have I done? This is just snow-kissed Chloe from 2015 Bratz. That is the exact outfit. I don't know, but I think it's just like cute wintry outfit. That's what they did. And I approve. I like it a lot. Also, these pants. Yeah, I love Abby. Abby is amazing. I cannot wait to see more of Abby. Hopefully, Abby shows up in the Gen 3 show. There is a leak that possibly confirms Abby's in it, but I'm not going to hold my breath because there's been a lot of false leaks around this generation. But anyway, I am loving this my scene inspiration here. I don't think it was intentional at all. I just think that's a really cute outfit to do for snow because I really like even in my own life wearing like cute like wearing less clothes when it's cold out. I just think it's very cute when you like mix seasons kind of. I don't even know how to describe it. It's adorable. Mini skirt in the winter, forever. Gulia, you can see they looked at the Dead Fast fashion pack or they looked at the this doll right here and they were like, cool. Gulia gets maybe 3 outfits, 2 that were obvious. So this is there's like a hallway scene when Clawdeen meets Gulia and there's dirt in her teeth. That's why she has that. And then this is the end of the movie. And in the credits you can see her a little closer here. I like the shoes a lot. Anyway, Gulia's generally wearing a lot of vintage stuff, like I said earlier, so I'm not really seeing that, except possibly this jacket's a little bit 90s, but I don't know. Also, Gulia often has a lot of prints, so I am seeing like no brain print really, but they weren't custom making outfits for Gulia. Gulia was not a main character. It's fine. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Gulia was kind of same with Laguna, so I took some pictures of Laguna. I love Laguna's styling, but it's not G1 Laguna, and I mean that in a good way. Like, I don't care personally. To me, it's exciting to see a new interpretation of the character. I love Laguna a lot, but this is a much more distinct fashion than Generation 1's Laguna, I think. And I really like this, like, very modern look with the really big sweaters and t-shirts that cover the tiny shorts, and I really like the boots too, but you know, it's not as Laguna, but I feel like in Generation 1 again, Laguna didn't have a very strong fashion inspiration, so I think that might be why they potentially struggled and completely revamped Laguna's fashion style. And I think this is much more sporty. And I'm excited to see because Laguna's character's changed quite a bit. She's still very friendly though, still very like friendly and easy to get along with for the other monsters. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm not a monster too. All right. Next, Cleo. Again, I think Cleo hit it out of the park. I think with Cleo, this is it. Yeah. So the main doll is Picture Day Cleo. It's weird how Picture Day comes up so much. Not my favorite Cleo, but I mean, this is so direct here. But it's also like they picked this silhouette a lot. These are actually 3 different outfits worn at 3 completely separate instances. Um, I mean, it's Cleo, so I mean, this doll, there is not a single bandage on her except if you consider the print on the dress bandages, in which case this doll has that too. This outfit has that. They're just kind of Egyptian inspired outfits. And I put Dawn of the Dance here because of the neckline. I don't know. And also the print on the dress is the same as like the bandages going around. This outfit I put in the next slide here because it kind of reminds me of Frights Camera Action. And this is, I know you can't see, this is Classroom Laguna, or Classroom Cleo. You can see this print is on the dress too, and that is similar. Also, it is hard to see, but when I saw this on the big screen, I was so titillated. The little bandages that hang down off the wrists on Bujork. Cleo, they don't go around her back, but they're coming off of the little jacket. They're here. In motion, you can see them quite well, so like here you can kind of see it, but I apologize, it's not the most obvious, but that's cute. Bujork is one of my favorite Cleos. I feel like this is a really strong one, so I was really excited about that. Also, there's a couple of instances, like in this one, she has a scarab brooch on when she's wearing. I didn't do the pajamas because they were kind of just pajamas. They weren't very like dead tired looking. She had some scarab brooches on as well. I don't know. She looks like a little princess. This blue outfit was quite interesting. And I mean, Cleo wears blue all the time, just maybe not that like denim color blue. Also love the shoes. I think Cleo strangely had the best shoe variety. So here you can see these cute platforms. Here you can see these like up the leg interesting platforms. Here you can see these laced up ones. So she had like 3 really solid, very Monster High shoes going on. Which is weird because Cleo was kind of a secondary character and kind of an antagonist, whereas you never see Clawdeen in tall boots. Frankie's shoes are excellent, but there's only really one pair. I mean, oh, two pairs of shoes that are pretty Monster High-ish. And then Draculaura, I mean, they're cute shoes, but there's only one that has like a Monster High-ism going on. But it's not fair, right? Because Cleo, if they lace up the leg, it's pretty Cleo. Whereas with Draculaura and some other characters, there's more going on sometimes. But like, this is directly on this doll here, so I don't know. But anyway, that is it for this video. So if I were to like, if I had like an unlimited budget, I mean, this is a Nickelodeon made for TV movie for kids. There's not going to be a like huge budget on it or anything. Like, let's understand that. But if I had like an infinite budget or like a higher budget to work on this, I would focus hardcore on the shoes because two good pairs of shoes per character that were super Monster High and super eye-catching would have really added a lot to the wardrobe. And I would leave Laguna and Gulia alone. I think they're fine. They don't really show up on the screen much. My pet Abby would be good. New. I'm kidding. I would leave her alone. She's perfect. She looked so good. I loved this actress. I wish she had more screen time. I was so sad at the end of the movie when like. This is legit the 4 scenes that she shows up in, and this one. I mean, it's weird. Like it focuses the camera on her for like a good 5 seconds, but she doesn't do anything. Same with this. Like every scene she's in, she's kind of prominent, but she doesn't do anything. It's disappointing for me as an Abby fan. Clawdeen, I would do a lot more with. I would heavily focus on more like 2.0 Clawdeen, but it just looks like they reference different Clawdeens. I mean, Clawdeen, werewolf, purple, fur, animal print. But I feel like there was more that could be done with Clawdeen's outfit in particular, especially as the main character. To me, if I were looking at pictures of all of these outfits, I would immediately be drawn to Frankie as the main character. I feel like Frankie had the most variety in outfits and the most interesting outfits. Same with Abby. Abby had a lot of variety here, right? This is 4 distinct silhouette options for Abby. But with Draculaura too, like Draculaura hit it out of the park completely. I don't know how people think Draculaura in particular doesn't look like Gen 1. I think this is the closest to. I mean, Frankie is completely on the nose, honestly. But if I were like somebody who watched Monster High like 10 years ago as a kid and never watched it again, Draculaura would be exactly what I would imagine Draculaura to be like. I mean, Draculaura is easy. Black and pink, something vintage-ish, something frilly, you're done. Also lots of bows. This Draculaura interpretation doesn't have a lot of bows, so I guess that's something different. But also Clawdeen too. If I didn't know anything about Monster High, I don't want to say didn't know anything, but if I watched Monster High 10 years ago and had like 4 dolls as a kid, and that was my extent of knowledge, I would think, oh, Clawdeen looks perfect. This is what I remember. Because like, with I Heart Fashion, you see this all the time. There's just, with Monster High, I think people have some rose-colored glasses on and don't actually remember Monster High and maybe didn't have a lot of experience with Monster High, which again isn't meant to be an insult, but it means like, y'all can't be criticizing things and acting like an authority on something if you don't know what you're talking about. Go to mhmerch.com. I will link it in the description. It's a very helpful database for Monster High stuff. And look through the dolls, and you'll find that an alarming amount of them are some variation of a mini dress it'll have some kind of interesting detailing, but it's going to be a mini dress. It's going to have some form of fabric printing going on. And there's some exceptional dolls like I Heart Fashion Abby with the knit piece. Most of the signature dolls have something very interesting going on. But other than that, you start to converge. You can see 3 dolls here. 4, that's a textile though. That's like a little different. But like 3 dolls here that it's a mini dress. That's it. It's just a mini dress with maybe a slightly different piece of construction. This fabric is poo-poo garbage though. I mean, Frankie, I didn't include the mini dress ones, but there's plenty. And same with Draculaura. I didn't include them because they didn't seem to be referenced for this movie. Oh, I included Haunted because of the little Batwing motif here. I thought that was kind of. I mean, there should have been way more Batwing motif stuff for Draculaura in Gen 1, and I feel like there just wasn't. Anyway, that's it for this video. I have a lot to say about Generation 3. I'm such a big Monster High fan. It's been a big part of my life for so long, and it's the reason that I'm a doll collector today. My first doll as a collector when I was like 12 and decided that I decided that Monster High dolls were cool and I wanted Toralei, but I couldn't find her, so I got a La-Di-Da doll. And then immediately after that, I got Abby, and after the La-Di-Da doll, I was like, I'm not really into dolls, like, because when I was a kid, I wasn't. And then when I got Abby, Skull Shores, I was like, dolls can be like this. This is so cool, and it felt so much more like adult and interesting to me. And that's what got me into dolls. And now I have an appreciation for basically any doll, including Barbie, which I didn't super like as a kid. Um, but anyway, that's it. Let me know what you guys think. If you're gonna leave some kind of like think piece, please like look before you just decide to be like, this is garbage, it looks nothing like Monster High, they don't know what they're doing. All of this stuff was approved by Mattel. All of this, I mean, and this doesn't seem like a super low budget rushed movie to get some like just some quick buck. It really seemed like they tried and cared. And yeah, that's it for all this time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. I lost the stop recording button. Bye.